GM, welcome back to the channel. You may have heard, but it's FOMC day today. Is it going to be 25 basis points or 50? You'll probably know by the time you watch this video. I don't think it matters all that much in particular, but I do think the trajectory being set of rate cuts, US dollars becoming cheaper overall, DXY likely to break down, bull markets full force at some point, either end of this year or 2025 early on, I believe. Now, Bitcoin's at 59.5 right about now, and not looking too bad, to be honest with you. Of course, today was going to be super shaky, big news days. You're going to get a lot of volatility. I mean, if you're trading this thing, good luck to you. You are more of a degenerate than myself. DXY currently at 100.9. We're waiting for that to break down. I think we'll get fireworks at that point. Now, meme of the day here. Jerome sweating over, are we going to call for 25 or 50? As I've mentioned, don't think it matters all that much. The market's still pricing in like a 63% chance of a 50 basis point cut. This is a bit hyperbolic, stating that if we get 50, we're going to get soaring inflation, which I don't think will happen. I do think stocks and crypto do well, especially well if we get 50. 25 basis points rate cut equals recession. I don't believe that either. So we'll look at some data, but this is the kind of left curve simplified view here from Chumba. My personal view, rate hike was bad, so numbers went down. We actually went from like, say, 70K down to 16K off the back of the Fed increasing rates, i.e. rate hikes. And now, so we're going to go through a cutting cycle. So rate cuts, as he says, is good and number go up. I think that is just the overall simplified view. Volatility in between guaranteed, but generally don't fight the Fed. If you did fight the Fed as they were hiking, I'm sure quite a few of us got our asses whipped at some point due to that. It works on the inverse as well. The Fed are going to make money cheaper via their interest rates. Fejau states that there's going to be a lot of noise around the price action of 25 or 50, but it's the SEP and dot plot forecasts that are going to matter, and whether we have more of a hawkish or dovish approach within that. So make sure you do check out the data and the dot plots going forwards. I think the press conference as well will be worth watching to see if Jerome kind of gives any indication as to whether they are really front loading these rate cuts or not, whether they deliberated, so say they do 25 basis points, whether they strongly deliberated for 50. There's going to be signal within these things. Now for Fejau here, who is one of the best macro kind of commentators out there, as is Darius, they just put together a podcast that was released last night on Blockworks. I listened to this today on Spotify. Highly recommend you give this a listen just to get the overall picture. But Darius is kind of alpha here. He states GDP growth will continue to surprise to the upside. So strong US economy, and he doesn't foresee a US recession 6 to 12 months out. So he thinks strong economy overall, and we're going to get a cutting cycle from the Fed during the back end of growth for the business cycle. He also expects that the Fed will front load the cuts here. He doesn't know if it will be 25 or 50 today, but he thinks they're going to front load things and get a lot of cutting action done. I think 2.75% is the current kind of target or neutral rate, which they may be aiming towards. But Darius does state that he believes inflation will rear its head as a result of this cutting cycle with a growth period somewhere around mid-2025, and that could cause the Fed to then have to really step its foot back on the gas, maybe start to hike again or something. And I think that would obviously be the kind of Goldilocks period now between now and when inflation is a big problem again. That's probably where we can have a massive bull market here. And he says bullish stocks, crypto, gold, bearish bonds and dollars. So pretty much it sounds like the party's about to get started here, and we will have a period of time where we will get the euphoria in the markets, a lot of stuff going crazy, asset prices up, our crypto, beloved crypto going up through the roof, hopefully. And it will be a case of hoard as many dollars as you can, get as much out of the market in that period. So in my mind, up to the end of Q1, I think we're going to have a rip-roarer. Noah, Captain Rational, his take here, up until the end of the year, so markets to continue up, and then next year, parabolic. I don't make the rules. So that is what he's seeing. He talks extensively around the kind of liquidity cycle, DXY breaking down, the move indicator to be pushed down and suppressed as well. And he thinks there's going to be a huge global liquidity expansion here, which will moon crypto overall. Charles Capriole is back from a slight hiatus. He's come with some big charts today. So the first he says here is, look, the S&P 500 would falter if a recession is being priced in by the markets. As he says, the S&P 500 tends to falter before recessions as the market prices in economic weakness. So what he's saying is, looking at the data with the rolling 1 week, 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 12 month data points, he states that the data is suggesting 11% chance we are on the cusp of a recession today, 34% chance of a recession within a year. In other words, the stock market is still too strong for a high likelihood of recession. So he's saying that the S&P 500 today is stating recession is likely not happening. So another data point and another good analyst backing up what Darius believes as well. And I think that is pretty good signal to go off here that no recession US and a bit of a big move in the markets coming. Now, this was his second chart. We did look at one of Raoul Pal's charts recently, the M2 money supply one with the, I think it was like a 10-week lag. This one is a 3-month lag versus gold price. And this is suggestive that gold has already made the move and now it's going to be Bitcoin's turn. So I thought that was interesting. Numerous data points, all pushing towards the same kind of narrative, up and to the right for crypto. And hopefully our patience is going to pay off, especially after this previous 6 months, which has been pretty damn tough and boring. Quick one, CZ's release 29th of September, been looking for a BSC chain, Binance chain, Cooker. And I think this is the Cabal coin of choice. So this is Simon's cat. I believe this is to do with the current CEO of Binance's cat. They're trying to get on the hype train around cat coins, which seem to be doing well. And this launched back here at like a 150 mil market cap, currently at like a 220 mil market cap. This has Cabal scam kind of vibes written all over it, like insider vibes, not like total scam, but you know what I mean. This looks like to me that this is going to be one of those ones that does this thing where it's just trending on up. And as soon as we get CZ either being released or some positive reaction from the market here, I think this thing probably goes vertical, as it just smells and stinks of Cabal action, which, if you know how to play those kind of things, can do very well. It was an airdrop token to, like, a certain percentage of the supply was airdropped to Floki holders. Binance facilitated that. It's not currently listed on Binance, but you can trade it on chain. It's available on sexes such as those you can see on screen, KuCoin, HTX, etc. But the fact that Binance have already allowed people to withdraw from their exchange, I think they're going to list this thing with a spot pairing, perps as well. I think this could be the cooker that comes from Binance's chain here, maybe around CZ's release, not financial advice. Fantom Tarot talk real quick. Agent Chud, aka Crypto Messiah. Someone was asking him, what is your price prediction for Fantom? He thinks optimistically 470s to 870s, so somewhere around a 10 to 20x ish, as he states. But he says with the gas monetization taking place, he thinks the ecosystem plays are going to be the real big cookers. Equal Tarot Brush, Tarot being the hyperliquid kind of equivalent over on Fantom. He also posted this. This is the Tarot's treasury wallet, which holds $15 million worth of assets. It's one of the biggest holders of Aerodrome and Velodrome, and so they can direct liquidity and incentives very nicely over there. And this treasury wallet is greater than the market cap of Tarot currently. So I think that is pretty good signal for an altcoin. So we'll leave things off there. Absolute chop in the market, as you'd expect on a major news headline day. We'll see the trajectory over the coming few days, I believe. 2 days time as well on the 20th, quad witching, which Crown has stated numerous times should set the scene for a move up for the crypto market. So it's time to get locked in. Hope you enjoyed this one. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.